Hello, everyone. I saw that you are still coming. We're gonna just wait maybe 1 or 2 minutes time for you to join the meeting. Okay, perfect. Hi, everyone, and thank you for joining us today. Tonight we'll be with Annalie. She's in charge of the postgraduate in fashion business. And for the fashion design, we'll have Damien and Clarissa. So thank you so much for being here. Don't hesitate to tell us where you're looking for the live. And I will let, which one's gonna take the lead first?
I think we're starting with fashion design.
We're gonna start with fashion design. So if you have any questions during the chat, don't hesitate to ask them through the Q&A or the chat question. Thank you.
Do we answer at the end or
at the end?
Okay. Do you want to start?
You can start.
Okay. So welcome everyone. My name is Damien. I'm in charge of the creative program, the postgraduate in fashion design, and this is Clarissa, my colleague.
Hello.
And she is also in charge of the program. We're both teachers in the same program. So we're going to present to you the program in general and how it's, I would say, work, and then we can go into more specific informations.
Yeah, maybe we can talk about the profile a bit of the masters, the students in the Master in Fashion Design. So the master is called a Master in Creative Direction for Fashion and Creative Industries, which means in a few words that usually the students who come to do this master, they come from a fashion design background, but not necessarily. We also are very happy to welcome students from different backgrounds, because our aim with this master is to expand the definition of fashion that is not just so limited to like a commercial systems, for example. So we're trying to make fashion an interdisciplinary subject with art, media, etc. So voila, so we welcome students from different backgrounds and not just fashion design, but we're trying to go beyond clothing, let's say, with this master, trying to place fashion in also different contexts, social and cultural contexts.
So in terms of structure for the program, the way it works in general is it lasts for 2 years, 4 semesters, and you have 2 big deliverables to hand in order to graduate, which would be a creative project. And as Clarissa said, it's very open to many disciplines and contexts creatively. And also you have a master's thesis, which is an academic written piece of work, which is the other big deliverable in our fashion design program that is very important. And all of this ends in the 2nd year with the completion of an internship that you have to do half in the program and half outside of the program, which is all required to graduate from the postgraduate.
Is there anyone with questions, or we have a questions moment after, right?
Sorry.
Okay. Well, that's a very problematic question. We're discussing the answer for this question. What's a creative director today? Not problematic, but
large.
Yeah, I think there's a large definition for a creative director. But we thought about these 3 main, let's say, key points. Curated creative identity. So someone who has like a kind of critical thinking and wants to explore new ways to look at fashion, new ways to recreate fashion, new ways to tell a story about fashion. So that's not just like the, as I began repeating, the classical commercial framework. Interdisciplinary and ethical approach. I think, as I mentioned before, this master has been designed to interconnect fashion with different disciplines. We look at fashion as like a social, cultural, symbolic discipline, and the ethical approach as well. Of course, we don't even need to go into this detail. It's something that it's, already like part of any creative project, I would say.
Hopefully.
Yeah. We noticed that the students are very aware of this. We don't even need to, well, of course we discuss this. We have classes about sustainability and fashion, but we expect the students to be aware of this approach already. Cultural and artistic context in tune with the zeitgeist. As I said before, we are placing fashion not like not in commercial frameworks, but also like in artistic and cultural contexts, creating this bigger definition of fashion in context, in connection with the contemporary times, understanding what's happening out there, so we are able to design accordingly, let's say.
We'll take the first question. Do students work with real fashion and luxury companies during the program?
I didn't really understand. Can you repeat, please? Sorry.
Do students work with real fashion and luxury companies during the program?
Yeah, in the stage, no? During the internship.
Yeah, and do they...
During the year?
Yeah, do they have projects or real cases?
They had, up until now, they had the business marathon, which is in tune with the business department. And it's a project that lasts, I think, over a week. And during this project, they're paired with a business group, and they would take part in exchanges and solutions to find for a specific business, I think, that is asked from them. But in our program, no, they would not accept this or the internship work with fashion houses.
Yeah, I mean, the internship is mandatory in the second year, so you will be already working in some kind of French maison, French brands in Paris, studios, etc. In the second year. And during the first year, we, as ESMOD has like very strong partnerships with very important, like a French maison. For example, one of our main partnerships is with Le 19e, the space of Chanel and savoir-faire. So we collaborate with this space very often, where the students go to exhibitions, to conferences, they do atelier in artisanal practices. So yeah, through our collaborations, like with brands and cultural spaces, we are not just inside of the classroom, but we are out there very often.
And we will also have workshops for next year in October with the Balenciaga archives for students in, I think, 5th year. And there will be an exploration of the archives and rethinking fashion through the archives.
Okay, thank you.
For what the students are going to learn in the masters to make, so this is very condensed, but this is a nice summary. So form, articulate, and communicate the creative ideas. So this is all part of what's going to be learned during the process of developing the creative project, which could be a fashion collection or something else, Clarissa explained, recontextualizing the approach to fashion. And this also connects to contextualize the creative project within contemporary times. We both think and try to push this in the masters that we cannot create anything at any time. We need to be aware of what's happening around us in order to create for more meaningful purposes. So this is something that is going to be very important in the masters as well. Of course, adapt and thrive in a creative professional setting, because you guys are expected to work after the masters, first of all during the internship, and then after, when you're going to find a job in the creative industries. So it could be either a fashion studio in design or something more open, like agencies, image, styling, everything. There's also, as I mentioned previously, the approach to academic research in connection with practical projects. So this would be the master's thesis, which is very important in fashion design, because we have this whole academic research and writing block module of classes. And critical thinking is, in my opinion, learned in every single module, because it's from also a theoretical approach and a practical approach. So, yeah.
I mean, in a few words, after what Damien just said, this is a research, this is like a research academic program. That means the research is like leads this program, and through theory and practice. So the master is very well balanced between theoretical research, the writing of the thesis, and the creative project, which is it's presented after 1 year of the master, and not necessarily the subject of the thesis and the creative project have to be connected. We highly recommend the students to do it. So you do one research for both theory and practice, but it's really up to the student to choose that. So these are the main 2 deliverables that we have in this master. And et voilà, I would say that that's all. What jobs? That could be so many things. We actually think that these students should be the new the new creators of the new system, new fashion system, because we all know that the fashion system is not really working, as we all know, and we are in a very shifting moment where we need to recreate this a fashion system that works better, not just ethically, but in general. So I think this master is also designed for these people who are recreating new practices and new narratives in fashion, but not just like designing fashion collections. Of course, if you can come to ESMOD, do this master and work on a fashion collection for the final project, but we've been receiving and many students lately who are looking at fashion through with different eyes, different perspectives, designing magazines, for example,
like
or voila, like Felisa, who is in online. Thank you, Felisa. Or platforms or installations. So the jobs can be very varied, I would say. We're not just forming, I don't like this verb, but like fashion designers, but also people who are interested in fashion and art and culture and can recreate these new jobs or new projects, you know? I don't know if I hope I answered.
It's time to welcome Africa and Felisa. I didn't see, I saw Africa, so.
We're both here.
Hello, can you turn on your mics maybe? So.
Maybe I can present them very quickly, and then, Africa and Felisa are already like students who finished the master. They got their diploma last December. We've worked together in a conference called Awareness, like recreating new practices and narratives in fashion. And their projects were, how can I say, they were, they stood out. Yeah. They were very special projects that were really connected to our contemporary times. So that's why our conference was called Awareness, because they really understood a problematic in the system that they wanted to propose something new. And so voila. So thank you, Africa and Felisa, for being here.
Thank you for inviting us.
I
wonder if some people who are attending had questions for them, or if they should talk about their
what they did in the program and what did they like about the program.
The experience.
The experience.
Do you want to go over this first, Africa, your experience of the program overall and what you
learned
enjoyed the most?
Okay. Yes. Well, I was when I was looking actually for a master's, what I was trying to find is something that was related to fashion design, which was my BA, but also that could give more skills into the process to do something even bigger, just not in the creative part, but in the whole process of making a collection, of making a brand, of just having the whole vision of everything, which is something I did as a freelance before, but just learning little by little and learning from mistakes. So it was really good to have this freedom to do a project where we were the ones who decided how we wanted to do the project, always with the help and kind of like the guidance of the teachers, but very open to let us explore and let us find our own style and voice into our projects. So that's what I was trying to look when I was looking for a master. So in that way, I was very happy to be able to do something connected to, in my case, my city, my hometown, working with local artisans there. So it was very interesting, the process of creating something that I thought about for a long time, but just in an academic field.
And then you did your internship at Louis Vuitton before getting the diploma, and now you're at Dior, no?
Yes, I did my internship right after the master's in product development. So I also learned other parts into the process of fashion. I did the leather good bags. And then after that, I went right away to another internship at Dior for a student assistant. So that way I was more into the ready-to-wear department with the designers. And since January, I am the coordinator of the studio. So it's been a good process.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
Thank you, Africa. Felisa?
Yeah,
do you want to share with us your experience? or
I
whatever you want to
mean,
share with us.
I did graphic design in Chile, and then I was looking this kind of like more fashionable way of like how to work because well in South America we don't really have like fashion schools. So that's when I saw that you could like work in this own creative field of yourself. And I think what it was very interesting about doing the masters, it was like it was kind of like interdisciplinary in a way. For normally I'm a stylist and I was working as a stylist in Chile. But then here it was kind of like, okay, do you want to do your own clothing? Do you want to do your own interviews? Do you want to do a magazine? What do you want to do? So at the end, I think it was very interesting, like to explore all this thing of how creatively you can do different stuff with one topic or like different topics. So I think it's very interesting for people that they're applying to the university, like to go as far as they want in terms of creativity, and then not to be afraid of like saying, I want to be a designer, I want to be this, I want to be that. I think the school really gave us this thing of saying, like, take your year or 2 years to think about your own creative world and your own references. And I think it's just such a huge privilege to have a year of exploring yourself. It's tough in a way. I mean, it's lots about, I think creativity is a lot about like drama, as Louis Bourgeois says. But
Mhm.
I think it's a whole process of like going deep down into the things that you really like. So yeah, like different teachers in from different fields, like giving you these kind of answers of like how you can do something technically, how you can do something like in more in an image way, how you can I don't know. I think it's just like it's just about like exploring different ways of like your things that you really want to express in a way.
Mhm. Your creative identity.
Your creative identity and like literally, yeah, like defining what you want. Like, are you more into like I don't know, photography. Which kind of photography is it? Like, are you more into Diane Arbus? Are you more into like, I don't know, Andy Warhol? Like, I think we all have a voice. We all have like a way of seeing things and our own judgment. And in a way, it's kind of like justified. Why do you like them? Why do you feel something with those artists or those designers or people?
Mhm.
So yeah, I think it's that's the most interesting part of like doing this whole year of like exploring yourself in a way.
Thank you.
I
Thank
think
you,
we have a
Melissa.
question for the students. What are the classes like?
So
Wow,
general as a question. What
it's
are
very
the
general.
classes
Do you
like?
remember
Yeah,
what the classes are like?
Do you
I
remember?
mean,
they were very
yeah, for
different.
sure.
They-
Like, let's go with the main classes, maybe like redirection and like the main
Yeah,
theoretical
maybe you can talk about
classes.
the main classes that
Yeah.
the core classes, no, that
Mhm.
were supporting your creative
Yeah.
project, I would guess. Bon, it's up to you,
Yeah.
whatever you wanna say.
For me, I feel like one of the classes that I found very interesting was the class we did with Maria. In terms of, it was very creative, it was very practical, but at the same time, we also had a part of theory on it. So it was how to merge both of them. I
Mhm.
feel like it was very interesting to be able to work in that way. You know, like there were some classes that were way more theoretical and others that were more creative. And then we had like kind of the merge of two. And I think both are important. So I really enjoy that process because we could see like our portfolios changing, our projects, the way we even thought it could be just changed completely. So it was quite interesting.
Mhm. The artistic direction, no, with Maria.
Yes, I forgot the names. I just, yeah,
It's okay, don't
exactly.
worry.
Yeah,
You're
it
not
was it
student
was
anymore. And you,
it was
Felisa.
I mean it was amazing and I would think about the same situation. Um, I think what is the most beautiful thing about being a teacher, like for example, what happened to me with Maria, it was kind of like this thing of like she was like pressing some buttons to make you think about different things.
Mm,
Mhm.
You know what? I don't know if I'm explaining it like
Mm.
well, But it's just like I could see how Maria, she could like say things and then like literally every mind in the class were like expressing or like thinking about different things. I think it's that's kind of like guiding in a way, like very softly to guide a creative process. So yeah, like the main class, I think it was very interesting. It was very inspiring.
And then I have to say that class merged with your class, Clarissa, was like, because I have to say, really, like everything we explored there was very interesting to after do the research into the history, into fashion, into many other artists and just ways of expressing that. Also, when we had to do the thesis, how we can translate that into actual academic work. So I really enjoy the process of that too.
Thank you.
And one last question
And
for.
at the same time, I think like.
Sorry, Felisa, go on.
Go on, Felicia.
No. I was just saying like different classes, they really like merged together very well because like as Africa was saying, like you go for something like research and then like the research is connected with something technical and then like, technical is kind of like related to textile and then you go to a teacher that is expert on textile and then like the person which is more into images, like how you can connect all these classes together. And then it's not like a passive process. I think it's very much you have to go for it. You have to go for the teacher and ask the things that you want to make because it's a master. I think many people think that it's a bachelor and it's kind of like give me the information, like I just want to learn and then you're all like machines. I think in a master's, in my way of thinking, it's like you go for every teacher that it's really interesting for you and then like you try to like push it forward, your own process.
Thank you.
And one last question for the students, the alumni. What was like moving to Paris? Did you live with other ESMOD students?
Sorry, I didn't hear the question.
What was it like to move to Paris, and did you live with other students to find a place? Like, how was the process of moving?
For flat sharing?
Yeah.
Or how was it moving to Paris?
In my case, I moved just for the master, so I've never lived before here. And one thing is I already knew French, so that part was kind of easier. But I went to a student accommodation. I live with other students back from other universities, other places. So that was also very helpful to know a little bit other schools and see how people were. And yeah, I lived there for a year. And then after I moved into an apartment this past year, but it's been a good process. I like the city and I thought it was a really good place to study because you also have a lot of cultural resources. So there's so many places around, there's so many things to do in terms of fashion, art, culture. So I found it very dynamic and just I feel like I wanted to do so many plans, but I just didn't have the time. So it's always a positive impact in that way.
In my case, I came the first year, I did a working holiday visa first because I'm from Chile, I'm from South America. So I did a first year of working holiday. I worked in a bar because I was very looking forward to learn French, and I knew that being very practical and working in a place, it would be very helpful, and I could like put money aside to pay the masters, and then I did that. I did that year, and then it was like I found an apartment like friends of friends from Chile, and yeah, that was it. Like that's the way I found my last apartment because now I changed. Very practical.
Let's see.
Thank you. We're gonna jump into the business side of the postgraduate at ESMOD.
All right. Hi, good evening. My name is Annalie. I'm in charge of the postgraduate program, and I'm with Antea tonight. I don't know if... Hi, Antea. She just got her graduation in December, so she'll be with me tonight. So the business program, first of all, to apply to the business program, you need a bachelor degree. It can be a bachelor degree in any field, as long as you have a very strong, fashion I would say if you're very sensitive to it. You don't need a very strong knowledge because you will learn everything about the business, but you need a little bit of it. So what is the program about? So the program prepares students for strategic roles in the fashion and luxury industries by developing strong skills in marketing, branding, management, and innovation. It combines business knowledge with cultural, creative, and technological perspectives to help students understand the dynamic of the global fashion and luxury market. Throughout the program, students learn to analyze consumer behavior, build brand strategies, manage projects, and collaborate with creative teams. They also explore different challenges such as sustainability, AI, and new technologies. Overall, the program aims to train future professionals who are able to think strategically, lead projects and teams, and create innovative and responsible solutions in a constantly evolving industry. What will students learn? So first of all, they learn how to understand the fashion and luxury ecosystem. Students acquire essential cultural, artistic, social, and economic foundation, helping them to decode trends and the dynamics of the industry. So we have subjects such as history, sociology of fashion. We have CSR courses, art and architecture, for example. Number two, they build and manage brand. Students learn how to design and implement brand marketing and communication strategies to develop a brand internationally, of course. So for that, we have subjects such as brand design, communication strategy, or even collection merchandising. Number three, they learn how to manage projects and teams. They develop the skills needed to lead projects, coordinate teams, and handle the operational dimensions of fashion business. Subjects such as project management and leadership and negotiation strategy. Four, they learn how to innovate and anticipate the future of the sector. Students learn to integrate emerging technologies, understand evolving consumer behavior, and propose sustainable solutions. Antea, if you want to jump into it, don't hesitate. So there are subjects such as creative technologies, AI workshops, consumer foresight, and innovation strategy. And lastly, they apply knowledge through professional projects. Students work on real company challenges. We talked about this, such as the business marathon. And of course, the main project, which is called BUMP, the Build Up Map Brand, in cooperation with designers. So what job? There are a lot of different jobs that you can apply after the postgraduate program. So it can be either in the brand and marketing communication field. So you can be a brand manager, marketing, communication manager, content strategist, working with influencers, media, even PR. Secondly, you can work in the retail, merchandising, and customer experience field, such as a product manager, wholesale coordinator. I think that, Antea, you're doing something in this field, right? Yes, you'll tell us about it later. Then thirdly, strategy, business development, and management. So project manager, sustainability, CSR project manager, strategy and innovation consultant. And four, in the creative direction and digital innovation field. So art direction assistant, UX, and why not Web3 project manager and digital content designer. That's just a little examples of jobs that you can find in the fashion field, in the business field.
So now we're welcoming Antea.
Hello, everyone. I'm Antea, and I just graduated from ESMOD last December, as Annalie said. And before my graduations, I did a 6-month internship with L'Oreal in the headquarters working with YSL Beauty. And after that, I worked with Estee Lauder for the regional office, which focusing on the Europe and emerging markets. And currently, I'm staying in Estee Lauder as the retail and corporate store coordinator. And my day-to-day businesses, like tasks, are mainly to coordinate everything among all our affiliates across Europe and emerging markets to enhance the retail experience and also to launch different types of projects for enhancing the customer experience and etc. And from my experience with ESMOD, I find there are a lot of interesting classes and also like helpful classes that help me to build up my knowledge in the luxury and fashion field, and which also help me a lot when I'm searching for the internship or even when I'm working during my internship or my current day-to-day work. And I think one of the most memorable courses that I have taken is about the architecture one. So it's like how we need to understand like different flagship store, how they are designed and how they are linked it back to the brand DNA itself. And I think like this course is very interesting because at the same time you will also like explore different architectures around the world to understand the business. And there are also some classes, for example, CRM and customer experience journey, etc. There's also like very hands-on, like a very practical information that help me with my current job because like all my current day-to-day jobs are thinking how to enhance the whole customer journey, the process to boost the sales, to raise the customer loyalty. So, yep, this is like a general sharing that I can share about my experience with ESMOD and what I'm doing right now.
Antea, I have a question for you.
Yep.
How was it to be in a very international class with all these different students coming from all around the world? How was it?
I would say it's like a very interesting and also a very dynamic class because in my class we have students from Italy, from Malaysia, from India, from America, like and also of course from France. So it's like a very international class, and the dynamics are very nice that we even have gatherings after we graduate, and it's also like a way for building your own connections in this industry because like everyone graduating from ESMOD, they are stepping into the fashion or luxury industry, and which is a very great connections that you can build for yourself for your future career. Or yeah, because like even for now, I'm also in touch with most of my classmates, and we're like in contact to understand how our daily lives are. And like whenever maybe we have something about this industry or this brand, we can also reach out to them and see if they have any insights or sharing.
So would you say that ESMOD helped you build your network?
Yes, of course, of course. Like even with the teachers, like some of the teachers become my mentor right now that offer also like offering me career advice and opportunities, etc. So I would say like ESMOD is a way for me to build my connections in this industry.
That's amazing.
Yes.
Thank you.
No problem.
I don't know if there's any questions. How big is the class? We have about 30 students per class.
Let's move on to the hybrid part.
Yes.
How do design and business students collaborate?
Annalie, do you want to go with it or?
So there are two main projects with design and business students. We've already talked about the business marathon. Of course, if you need me to go on about the business marathon, I will. But the main project is called the Bump, which Africa, Felisa, and Antea worked on it, so they can also take part in this discussion. So basically, the BOM is a collaboration between a designer and a business student. The design student has to elaborate its collection or a magazine, or at least like a creative project. And the business students will work around the designer project to build a strong strategy according to the DNA of the designer. So that's almost 2-year collaboration between them. And yeah, so the business part is creating all the marketing strategy, communication strategy, distribution, even help them with the photo shoot. So a little bit of art direction, and I'll let you with the design part.
For the design part, because the thing is that usually creative students, they have a harder time trying to go through the process of
business,
moving their project to a more, I would say,
Commercial.
tangible or commercial approach. With some projects it doesn't work, but with some it works wonderfully. We've had, for example, last year students doing magazines, and they were really successful in the Build Up My Brand Own
Collaboration.
project collaboration, because the partners they managed to work with, I don't know how they just fell in love.
It worked.
Just,
it was a match.
It was really a perfect match, because they even managed to actually launch their magazines. Like, they ended up being printed and
Real
existed in real
project.
life.
Yeah.
And yeah, sometimes it's a very, very interesting collaboration, because it really leads to actual projects existing. So that's I mean, that's the goal for everyone. It doesn't happen all the time, but when it happens, it's a very, very nice thing to support.
Yeah, I always say that design needs business and business needs design. And so I think it's a perfect collaboration between the students, this project, where they learn from each other. You know, that probably the business students need these creative ideas to work with, and vice versa. So also in the design students, as we said, usually because they are more into the creative world, they don't think about the business part, but it's also important that they manage to like place their product or whatever that their project is into like a, you know, why we need this project, how can we, you know, like place it in the you know, but in society, or how can we contextualize this project, you know, like in our reality, let's say. So I think it's important that these business students bring this kind of down to earth, more rational side to the creative projects. That's what I think as a teacher, but I don't know if the students want to say anything. If it was good. Felisa, you also worked with you worked with Mako?
Mako,
Yeah.
is a business student.
Yeah.
Felisa.
It was great, because it was kind of like well, my project was very about like dissident community and like trans community from all over around the world, like different cultures. And I just had like a very nice match with another girl that she was like non-binary, or like in this kind of like uh yeah, like she was not like, yeah, she was non-binary in a way. And we did this match like to see how we could like actually work together, and like how to make it more like professional, and how to like achieve what we were looking for. And at the end, like for us, the most important things, I never had like someone that it was that interested in my work as her, because it was very about like she could understand what I wanted to do. And in my case, it was literally about like finding this story of, for example, trans people, and how to communicate it, and how you could actually recognize yourself through like others people's story. So we were in the same page with her, and at the same time, differently. You know what I mean? Coming from Chile, and then she was from Vietnam, we both see this story in a very different way. I think in a way, like in Chile, we're more like kind of Americanized in the way we see these kind of transitions, and then Vietnam is like a whole new story. So it was very interesting. And she was kind of like an intellectual for me. She was very like smart, and she helped me a lot to understand like many things about the magazine and the platform that I was building at the moment.
Amazing.
How did you feel about this, Antea? About how do you feel about the project business-wise?
For me, I think it's because like I'm not sure if the upcoming program will be the same, but like for us during our time, it's like a very intensive week. Like we need to pack everything and deliver everything within a week. But like within that week, it's like very practical and also like intensive, but also very enriching with all the knowledge like we learned from the courses we are applying into this business case. And I know for some of my classmates, like they are really working on the business side, which they are actually launching in real life. So like everything is like you can actually see the result at the end. And I really like this idea of like having the opportunity to collaborate with the designer because like we are in the same campus, but we don't really have that much opportunity to communicate. But with this project, it's also a way for us to like to share our ideas together and also share the passions towards the fashion field together. And I would say like what I learned from the Bump project can also be applicable to my nowadays work. Like for example, the project timeline planning, everything for the communication plan and how to source and like find the right platforms for promoting, etc. Like all these are very practical and like it's very useful for your work afterwards. Yeah.
That's a very good feedback about the Bump project. Thank you.
And maybe a question for Annelie and Damien and Clarissa. Why is this hybrid approach important today?
I think Clarissa said it very well.
We
A
can't
designer
answer.
need a business student and a business need a designer.
Yeah. And also, I think nowadays everything is so interdisciplinary and interconnected. I don't think there is only design and only business and only, the disciplines are not separated anymore. And I think in our actual times, contemporary times, we need to be aware at least a little bit of everything, what's happening and manage to interconnect everything. Like with the master in creative direction, for example, it's all about this perspective of 360 degrees of a creative project, which means looking at business, at marketing, looking at sustainability, digitalization, to have this overview of a creative project when everything is interconnected, because we do have a bit of business inside of the master in design, because that's the whole point, as I just said. We kind of have to understand through a holistic perspective, not just, we don't see the students just designing clothes in a corner, but being part of the whole environment,
Are students encouraged to develop entrepreneurial projects, like launching their own brand?
In
design or business?
Both. All right.
Business or both?
In both, I think we do this.
Yeah, we do. Yeah.
What?
You have
the thing is, in the fashion business postgraduate program, we have more and more designers. So students who come from a design background come to the business program because they want to build, because first of all, they want to have this hybrid profile, but also they want to build their brand. So they need both sides.
Now I think we can go on with the Q&A with the students. Don't hesitate to ask your questions in the chat. If you could give one piece of advice to someone entering ESMOD today, what would it be?
Wow.
Is the students or
for the students, I think.
That is the question for students. Yes.
So sorry, it's a prospective student asking us.
Asking the students.
Asking us like a Felicia. Voilà. I know, or Antea. Okay, Antea.
If you're interviewing like for the program, I would say like show your passions toward the luxury and fashion field. Because I think that's the key for everything. As long as you hold your passion towards the industry, then everything will be all right for you. Like, because like as what everyone has said, is like you can have all the courses to help you to build the knowledge you need for working in this field. So all you need is to keep the passion in it, and that's it.
Maybe Africa, the second part of the question. How would you prepare if you were starting the program again?
How would I prepare? I think more than prepare, I will be more relaxed to be open to changes and to explore, to embrace actually the change. Because sometimes you come with an idea that I want to do this, and you try to force too much, and sometimes you realize the moment you let the idea go and you just are open to other things that could integrate into your project, I feel like it becomes stronger and it's always a more enjoyable process. So I will say, yeah.
Open mind.
Yeah, exactly.
Is Felisa still around? The third part in the question, so.
She doesn't see
No,
me.
Felisa has left.
Yeah.
So,
Question?
yeah, what do you wish you had done differently during your studies?
Nothing. I just gave myself like my 120%, and I was going like every week into the school, even it was, yeah, I said to myself, this is the moment that I have to like, how do you say, profiter, like literally,
Enjoy.
yeah, like to make it worth. So to be honest, I wouldn't have changed anything.
I remember seeing Felisa during summer when nobody was there. She was the only student in the school.
Yeah.
It's not fair. She was a great student, so you cannot compare to Felisa, but
Yeah, I was very passionate. I think if you do the masters, just like go like as I said, like 150% for what you can do, and like have like enjoy this moment to like do your own creative works, and it's an amazing like journey that you'll go through.
A question for everyone. Were you able to have a part-time job while studying? Do you have any other tips for the interview process?
Well, for the interview process, in design, we look at the portfolio, motivation letter, English level, because all the classes are in English. And then I think the most important thing is the interview more than the application documents, because we are more interested not just in the academic background. Of course, we look at that, but we're looking at the profile, the personality, like if this profile suits the master. So, and also we usually, it's a chat, like when I interview, it's a conversation. And we also ask usually like a question just to understand the critical thinking of the candidate. We are very interested in people who have very strong critical thinking. And I think this would be my tip for the interview. But for the part-time job, the students could.
Do you have a part-time job?
I don't know, girls. Do you think it would be doable? Is it doable to work during the studies? Did you do or?
I mean, I was working like I was doing the masters like Monday to Friday, and then Saturday and Sunday I was working as a sales advisor in cost. And I think now after like these 2 years passed, I can say it was very intense. Uh, but I was obsessed with the idea of it was kind of like a motivation anyway, like working on the weekends and like paying my stuff, and then like coming on Monday to university. I think it depends if you have the energy and like the power to make it, you're gonna make it. Like I mean, it's up to everyone. Like it's up to each one of you in a way.
Mm-hmm.
But it's doable. It's totally doable.
For my side, like for the business courses side, like I do have many classmates that they did different type of part-time sales jobs, like when they are still studying, but I did not. But I would say like it's also like depends on how you manage your schedule and everything. And from my personal perspective, like if you are looking for an internship here in Paris, and like on a business role, having the sales perspective experience would help you a lot because that's also part of like what some of the companies are looking for when they are screening your resume. Yep.
Okay, we're gonna move on to the Q&A admissions with Najes. So if you have questions, feel free to ask them in the chat. Najes, are there electives that we can choose for in the fashion business master? Is it full-time and the same program?
I guess it's more a question for Annalie because it's the elective during the program, and I think there is an elective to choose, right?
I sorry, I cannot hear very well.
If there are any elective to choose during the program.
Electives, what is electives?
Elective classes, like optional classes.
Only in the 5th year, you either have communication strategy or innovation management.
Okay.
I don't know what Antea, what you chose.
I'm in communication.
Yeah, so that are the two options that are available in the 5th year. The 1st year is really to build a strong knowledge in a strategy, a strong fashion culture before you can choose a different path.
Okay. What level of education is required to apply to the postgraduate programs?
So we require a bachelor degree with at least 180 ECTS credit to apply either for the business or the design program.
And we talked a lot about which profiles we wanted. So the replay will be online tomorrow if you want to watch it again.
I'm
What
sorry,
are the main things you evaluate? Sorry, go on, Najes.
Sorry, I just wanted to add that for the fashion design postgraduate program, it's not only a bachelor degree that we need, it's a bachelor degree related into the design. If you have, I saw on the question, someone with the engineer degree, you cannot apply for the fashion design except if you already work in design, I mean, but I need to know more about each background before saying something specific.
If I may add, Najas, to follow up on that, it's more, I would say, generally creative in general rather than necessarily design.
Yeah.
It could be because we've had students doing like creative communication, architecture before who thrived in the masters.
Branding.
So it's open to at least someone with a background in creativity and like creative industries. But yeah, for sure, engineering is going to be a bit too far from the program.
Could you tell us more about the kind of projects or portfolio pieces admissions expect from applicants? What type of creative or strategic work should we prepare?
So basically, once you apply online, you have to fill out a form and you will receive what we call an assignment by email. For the fashion design, it's your portfolio. So you have to put all the creation you've done on your portfolio. And for the fashion business, it's an assignment separate in 3 parts. The first one is to present work you've done before, 3 of them. The second part is a brand analysis. And the last one is a press article. And I encourage you to develop everything and make it visual. We are looking for also people with strategic thinking, but also the creative one, even for business program.
Okay. I think we are done about admission questions. We still have some for the students. What is the
Sorry,
work life?
I just put on the chat my phone number. I'm available on WhatsApp. If you need me to help you to decide and to help you with your background, don't hesitate to reach me. Thank you.
Thank you, Najas. What is the work-life balance like in the design program? Africa and Felisa, maybe?
Yes. I think it's good because we had some time to actually work personally. So I was able to select the hours I wanted to work at home. Then we do a lot of work in uni. A lot of it's done there, but you have like different type of classes and rooms. So we also brought a lot of our creative stuff to the class. I remember Felisa having like all the sculptures and actually her studio made in the room. So I was very excited to see her project. We felt like we were in our little studio. But you also like I also remember having time to do things that I like to do outside work. Also because my project was related to something that I love doing, which is climbing. So I was still able to do my personal stuff and connected to the project. So work-life balance, in my case, it was good. Also, I didn't have to work like Felisa, so I had some time.
Maybe you can tell us more about how did you find your internships? Did the school help you? Did you receive job and internship offers? Maybe. Antea,
In my
Africa, Felisa.
in my case, I was just I knew from my BA that sometimes it takes time, so I kind of organized myself with time to do my Excel where I wanted to apply what date. So I started quite early, and I remember it was in maybe October that I got a call from one of the internships I applied, but I applied from different type of website. And this one actually was from the ESMOD alumni portal. So they also have like announcements there. And I applied to one of them and then I got a call from them. And that's how it happened. And then the next internship came out of finding an internship, calling my manager from the internship before, and just so it was a process in chain.
For me, my first internship in L'Oreal, I did something very similar to Africa. I did an Excel sheet of listing all the jobs that I want to apply and the status to keep track. And then for the L'Oreal one, I just applied through their official website and then got screened for the HR interview and the final interview. And then I got the job offer in early October. And then I did my second internship with Estee Lauder, which I applied through their official website, but also with some connections that I gained through ESMOD, which is like because one of our teachers working in Estee Lauder. So, yeah. And I also have some classmates who find their internship in, for example, Lulu de Saison and with Montclair through the because ESMOD they will also organize career events where all the HR from different brands will be present and we can share our CV and do a very initial HR interview with them. So some of my classmates also found their internship through that event.
My internship, I found it, I was working in Tranoi because well, we were talking about all these kind of things in that moment of the year that we were looking for internships. I went to work in Tranoi and I met this girl that she was the owner of this platform that represents like different artisans and designers from different parts of the world. So it was very like specific. I really went like straight to the person, like, I want to work with you because I think it's something very like political, but at the same time like very sustainable in a way. And I applied just to that one, and I'm still working actually with them. And at the beginning it was like as an internship, and then I started like working a little bit more with them, and then it's already like been a year I think that we've been working together. So. it was like the first time to like meet each other and then like to keep working together.
Thank you. One last question before we go. How many internships are there during the programs?
In fashion design, you actually finish the school year in March and you have up until December to complete your internship or internships if you manage to fit more than one in this time gap. So it's at least 1 or 4 months, and it can be, since you have 9 months, it could be up to 2 or 4 months, for example. But we don't advise you to do under 2 months, otherwise you don't get paid, and we don't like working for free. So.
In the business program, you can do a first internship during the first year of master, so 2 months, which is not mandatory, and then you have to graduate with a 6-month internship.
Okay. Sorry, one last question. Someone who already studied fashion and loved the creative work, but also interested in marketing work, what program do you think is best? Also, I'm not very good with sewing, and that still blocks me sometimes.
That still blocks me?
Yeah.
I mean, it depends on what you want to do.
But we don't teach sewing in the master.
Yeah.
Of course, we expect like that to the technique part you already achieved it during the bachelor. But of course, we have like some creative pattern making, so you can go a bit further, no? But you're not going to be taught like basic pattern skills. But you can learn exploring, you know, in the creative pattern making classes.
And Annie, what's your feedback on
that?
I would say welcome to the fashion business program. I'm just joking, but everybody thinks that fashion design is creative. It is very creative, but it's not because you're studying fashion business that you are not creative.
Yeah.
Like building a communication strategy, building a distribution strategy, or, you know, even helping a design student to think about a photo shoot is very creative.
Voilà.
So,
she's like, and at the same time, in design, we do have entrepreneurship, marketing, business. So I think both masters, I think
So welcome to the fashion design.
Welcome to the fashion design master.
No, to be more realistic about it, it also depends on what you want to do after. If, for example, you're trying to achieve a, I don't know, like access like a designer position, and you don't have any of the required skills as of now, is going to be a lot to learn in only 2 years in design. So maybe business.
I think it depends on what you want to do after.
You have to be realistic as well as to what you still need to learn to access the positions you want to have access to.
Yeah.
Okay. Thank you very much, everyone, for joining. Thank you, Felisa and Thea Africa.
Thank you, girls.
Thank
you.
The replay will be available tomorrow. Thank you, everyone. Have a good night.
Ciao.
Bye. Thank you.
Thank you for inviting.
Thank you.